Welcome in, Bison Nation, to your very own Bison Information Network. I'm Logan Genneberg, and tonight I'll be taking you through the latest in both campus and national news. Don't go away. Welcome back. With the semester swiftly coming to an end, and boy is that an understatement, those old textbooks are starting to near the end of their usefulness. There's no need to worry though, as trying to get rid of them, as the NSU bookstore is running their annual textbook buyback event. Making it even better, the bookstore is paying cash, so you can flip that old book into something cool for yourself or someone else right in time for the holidays. The buyback will run from now until next Friday, December 15th, so there's plenty of time to get down to the bookstore and put a little bit of cash back into your pocket. In need of something to do this weekend? Want to make a little bit of positive change in the community? Then Project Linus and Movie Night is just the event that you need. Students will be able to make tie blankets to donate to kids in need while also getting cozy and enjoying a movie. And of course, the snacks are free, which you can't go wrong with. The event will be hosted this Friday night from 7 to 9 p.m. in the Osheti-Sacoan Ballroom, so be sure to stop by and grab a couple of your friends as well. And our last campus story tonight is a great opportunity to get out and make some fun memories. The NSU Common Department will be putting on a secret Santa event filled with laughter, fun, and Santa himself might even make an appearance. There will also be free food and refreshments to help toast to the past academic year and congratulate those students on their graduation. The event will be next Wednesday from 2 to 3 in Menard Hall, room 338. Now shifting to local news, a playground in Moorhead is making strong progress. The natural play hill will be open at Moorhead's Riverfront Park year-round when complete. Organizers have said that they're enclosing the main tower in the same style kids would build a fort. The city of Moorhead said Phase 1 will include a treehouse, a zip line, log-piled netted rope, log climber, and more, which they plan to complete by Christmas. And Phase 2, which includes a nature ninja run, tunnel playmounts, and other features, will be built by next year. Another cool addition is that any donations of $500 or more will get their name on a paver at the site. Organizers hope to add more features as they continue to accrue funding. Regardless, it sounds like an amazing project, and I cannot wait to see it finished. Now, while our last story would make Santa's nice list, this person would definitely be atop the naughty list. Fargo police are asking the public for help in identifying two people who may have stolen a Salvation Army kettle from the West Acres Mall on Monday. The Salvation Army says the theft happened just before their driver was set to pick it up around 8 p.m. on Monday. Fargo police have posted surveillance photos of a man and woman who they say are suspects in the theft. If you recognize either of these people, please contact the Fargo Police Department. And our last story comes out of Arizona as a high school student is suing the city and school district after a promposal went wrong. William Vanasep was a senior at Arizona College Prep High School when a promposal by another student turned into a car crash on school property. Surveillance video shows Vanasep on his motorcycle when a Porsche blows through a stop sign and crashes into him, sending him flying onto the pavement. The video also shows a school resource officer at a nearby parking lot quickly driving towards the crash. Vanasep suffered a concussion and severe injuries to the right side of his body, resulting in a herniated disc and him needing crutches after the crash. He also continues to suffer pain and memory issues that he thinks could be permanent. In October, Vanasep's lawyer filed a settlement claim of $1 million against the school and city, claiming they bear liability and responsibility in the accident. According to the claim, the senior behind the wheel of the Porsche planned to ask a girl to a dance. His plan was to run the stop sign and have the school resource officer pretend to pull him over before revealing his poster. Audio even reveals the student stating his intention to go through the stop sign, and the school officer saying he won't receive a ticket for the crash. The family is still working on a lawsuit against the student driver. That's all we have for news tonight. After the break, Vinny will bring you all the latest in Bison sports. Stay tuned.
Founded in 1985, the Missouri Valley Football Conference has established a tradition of FCS football excellence. Competing at the highest level of NCAA Division I, student athletes at its 10 institutions demonstrate character, passion, and integrity as they grow as a student, an athlete, and a citizen. The Missouri Valley Football Conference, where leaders are shaped and champions are forged.
One kid, one mentor, plus one moment can unlock limitless potential. 30,000 youth are waiting. Be there for one of them. Become a big, today.
At NDSU, we're going to teach you about how to work with people. We're going to teach you about relationships with people and how to manage those relationships successfully, whether that's at work, whether that's at home. We have majors in agricultural communication, strategic communication, journalism, and management communication. We have students who have graduated who are doing all kinds of different things, everything from marketing to writing content to development to career coaching. We also, of course, have people doing more traditional things like news reporter or working for TV stations. The faculty members in our department advise undergraduate students. We think that it's important for faculty to develop relationships with our undergrads. We have an advisory board, and that consists of people in the community who are like local business people, and we try to make connections with those people so that literally we know the person that they should talk to about a job. You can't be in the world if you can't communicate. My recommendation is that you take some communication classes at the very least if you can. Even better, do a major in communication.
Welcome in to the Bison Sports Report. Starting off with the football team, the second round of playoffs went underway as Bison went to Bozeman to face the number 6 seeded Bobcats. The Bison were underdogs going into this one. Pressure was on as it was win or go home for the Bison. In the first quarter, both teams struggled as Montana State missed 2 field goals and the Bison had 2 3-and-outs. The Bobcats ended up scoring first with a 34-yard touchdown. The Bison finally moved the ball a little bit as Eli Green made a big play with a 34-yard gain. That's how the first quarter ended as the Bison trailed the Bobcats 0-7. In the second quarter, the Bison offense looked alive after the big play. As a couple drives later, Cam Miller looked to his favorite target, Zach Mathis, resulting in a touchdown. As the second quarter favored the Bison as Tamarick Williams broke a big run and got in the end zone. Montana State finally responded with a touchdown of their own as the team went up to the locker room 14-14. The Bison came out hot as the first play of the second half resulted in a big 75-yard touchdown by Tamarick Williams as Montana State quickly responded with a quick score of their own, having a 66-yard touchdown for the Bobcats. As the fireworks continued for the Bobcats as they put up another touchdown as the Bison headed into the fourth quarter trailing 21-28. With 2 minutes 33 seconds left of the quarter, NDSU was driving down to the field, and it was the biggest moment in the game as TK Marshall rushes in for the game-tying touchdown. Although, did that give the ball back to the Bobcats too much time? As Montana State got to the Bison's 37-yard line, but there was 3 sacks getting the Bobcats out of field goal range, the biggest defensive stop all season as they headed into overtime. Also, in overtime, NDSU got a touchdown and made their PAT. Montana State quickly responded and scored a touchdown, and then this happened.
Double overtime. Good snap, good hold. Kick is blocked! Heartbreaking Bozeman again! For the 4th time in 5 years, NDSU eliminates Montana State!
As the blocked PAT puts NDSU past Montana State 35-34. What helped the Bison was their run game as Tamarick Williams went off, running over 150 yards and scoring 2 touchdowns. As little as their air attack was, Eli Green and Zach Mathis had all the air yards. As NDSU moves on, they will be traveling to Vermillion and taking on the number 3 seeded South Dakota Coyotes, looking for their revenge earlier this season. The game will happen on December 9th at 1:30 p.m. You can tune in on ESPN Plus or ABC North Dakota. Speaking of overtime thrillers, let's turn to men's basketball as they took on San Jose State at the Shack. looking to beat them after their loss to them game before this one. NDSU started off hot, outscoring San Jose by 5 in the first couple minutes. That continued through the first half as NDSU was leading 36-28 going into halftime. Coming out, San Jose had something to say as they came back and tied the game up. This went till the final buzzer when it was tied 72-72. This trend continued in overtime where one team would score and the other team would rally right back. Until 1 minute left in the overtime, DeMar Wheeler had the hot streak, scoring 5 points and leading the Bison to win 83-78. Key players from the game were Kiri White and Noah Fenderson, scoring a combined 30 points and 11 rebounds. After the win, NDSU will host Portland tonight right after the show at 7 p.m. and can be watched on ESPN Plus or listen to 107.9 The Fox. Turning over to women's basketball, they both won their games this week, with last Friday beating Eastern Michigan 93-73, also last Sunday against Mayville, staying undefeated when their filmer Kayla Kinder was present at the game. Maybe that's a secret. The Bison will be traveling to Drake tomorrow, Friday, December 8th. The game will tip off at 11 a.m. and can be listened to on Bison 166.0. In wrestling news, the Bison were busy last Saturday as they hosted Virginia. The Bison kept it close the whole match, falling short 18-21, as 4 of the 10 matches were won by the Bison. Gavin kept his match close, falling 4-3 against the number 8 wrestler. The Bison have a tough one as they travel to Minnesota on Sunday at 2 p.m. The match can be watched on ESPN Plus, and overall, the Bison team went on a hot streak. Speaking of hot, today was really hot outside. Henry will fill us in with the weather for the rest of the week.
Good evening, NDSU. We had a pretty warm day today with temperatures of 49 degrees right now with pretty clear skies. Unfortunately, it feels like 7 degrees down now. A humidity 44% with winds coming from the southeast at 15 miles an hour with gusts up to 25. No wonder it feels like 7. Moving to our hour by hour, as you see here, we're going to get, it's scattered clouds, mostly cloudy to overcast, pretty much up throughout the night up until 6 in the morning with that the temperatures dropping from 43 down to 38. Moving to our skycast, we had a total amount of sunlight being 8 hours and 40 minutes. Our sunrise was at 7:58 and sunset was at 4:38 today. Moving to our moon cast, we have a waning crescent right now. The last moon we had was a 3rd quarter moon, and coming up we have a new moon. Moving to today's almanac, as you can see here, we had a high of 54 today, pretty warm for early December, and a low of 28. Average temps on this day in the past were a high of 46 and a low of 28. Record temps on this day in the past were a high of 73 in 1978 and a low of -7 in 1951. Moving to national temperatures, as you can see here, it's getting pretty cold up here in this part of the country and over in this part of the country too. And it's getting also a little warmer in more of the central area of the country, and we're expecting to see a lot of that coming up, more warm temperatures. Hopefully, though, we'll be getting that nice, cool, snowy for Christmas, you know? Coming up in the next 48 hours for rain and snow, we are expecting a little bit of rain and our snow, about like an inch of snow. I think it's a combination of rain and snow that's going to hit us. Up here in Fargo, coming into Minnesota, coming from Montana and that kind of area. And we're also expecting a lot of space right down here, with snow in more of the Appalachian central part of the country. Moving to our 7-day forecast, the next 3 days are faring pretty warm, kind of dipping into the colder side, with rains on Friday, and Saturday and Sunday are going to fare a little more cloudier. Moving to the rest of our 7 days, as you can see, we are expecting pretty warm temperatures, kind of dipping more into that cold once you get to the middle of the week, but then by Thursday we're expecting 40s. Thankfully, for your finals week, you won't have to worry about it being cloudy because it's going to be mostly to partly cloudy the entire week. And before I go, let's talk about our national days. Today is the first night of Hanukkah. It was also the National Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day, and it's also National Slime Jar Day. Well, that's all I have for Weather to You. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you so much, Henry, for the weather report. That's all we have tonight here on the Bison Information Network. I'm Vinny Anderson, signing off for everyone here in the studio, wishing you all good luck on finals week and ace those tests.